So you're probably wondering what that first week of graduate entry med school is actually like. Well, I can tell you, it's a whole different world from your typical university lectures. Let's pull back the curtain and crack the code on the intense, high-stakes start to becoming a doctor.
It really all boils down to this one huge question. This isn't about just cramming facts from a textbook. Right from day one, it's about building a whole new way of thinking, a framework to solve real-life problems. And that journey? It starts with a complete reset of how you learn.
Okay, so you're in. You made it. Welcome to med school. But I need you to forget everything you think you know about being a student. This is not just undergrad part 2. It's a brand new world with a curriculum designed from the ground up to turn you into a clinician, not just a scholar.
So what does this new approach actually look like? Well, a few things are key. You're going to get clinical exposure almost right away. You'll also notice the patient is at the absolute center of everything. The whole system is built around what's called a problem-based learning, or PBL approach. And you'll keep revisiting topics, each time with more complexity, in a spiral curriculum. It's all about building your knowledge layer by layer.
This right here, this is the core mindset shift you have to make. The ball is now in your court. You are expected to take complete ownership of your education, to figure out what you need to know and go get it. This is adult learning, and it's preparing you for a lifetime of it in medicine.
So how do you do all this? Well, your number one tool in this new way of learning is problem-based learning. Seriously, think of it like a detective's toolkit that you're going to use to crack every single medical case that comes your way.
So what is PBL really? Well, instead of a professor lecturing at the front of a room, your small group gets a real-world case. It's your job to work together, figure out what you don't know, go learn it on your own, and then come back together to apply that new knowledge to solve the case. It's active, it's collaborative, and believe me, it works.
And this whole PBL thing, it's not just chaos. There's a method to the madness, a 7-step investigation. You start by just clarifying the facts and spotting the main problems. Then, your group brainstorms what could be going on based on what you already know. From that, you create your learning goals, you go do your self-study, and then you come back to the group to share what you found and solve the case together.
And you might be asking, why learn this way? It's simple, really, because this process perfectly mirrors what doctors do every single day. It forces you to actually understand and connect information, not just memorize it. And, maybe most importantly, it teaches you how to work in a team, which is absolutely essential in healthcare.
Okay, theory time is over. Let's put that toolkit to the test. Here's your first case file. A patient showing up with hypoglycemia, which is just a fancy word for low blood sugar. And this entire challenge, it all comes down to one core biological principle.
And that principle is homeostasis. The easiest way to think about it is like your body's internal thermostat. It is constantly actively working to keep everything, your temperature, your fluids, and yep, your blood sugar, in a super narrow, stable range. When that delicate balance gets thrown off, that's when you have a problem.
So when blood sugar plummets, your body sends out 2 different kinds of alarms. First, you get the autonomic or early warning signs, things like sweating, shaking, feeling anxious. That's your body's alarm system screaming for attention. If you miss that warning, you start getting the neuroglycopenic signs, confusion, drowsiness, and that's happening because your brain is literally being starved of fuel.
Now, to get how the body manages all this, you've got to meet the key players. First up, insulin. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks the doors to your body's cells. It lets the glucose from your blood get inside where it can be used for energy. And in doing that, it lowers your blood sugar. Playing on the opposite team is glucagon. When your blood sugar gets too low, glucagon sends a message to your liver, which is kind of like the body's sugar warehouse, and tells it, hey, release your stored glucose. That brings your blood sugar levels right back up.
And then you've got adrenaline. This is your body's emergency first responder. If there's a really sharp sudden drop in blood sugar, adrenaline floods the system to kickstart glucose production, like right now. It gives you that fast surge you desperately need. So when you put it all together, it's this incredible, delicate balancing act. You've got insulin working to lower blood sugar, while glucagon and adrenaline are working to raise it. Your body is juggling these hormones 24/7 just to maintain that crucial state of homeostasis. Okay, so we've touched on the science, but that's really only half the story of your first week. Being a med student isn't just about what you know. With that knowledge comes this profound new set of responsibilities, a code of conduct that starts on day 1. And it all starts with this one really powerful idea.
Before you can even think about taking care of other people, you have to learn how to take care of yourself. Burnout in medicine is no joke, and learning how to build sustainable, healthy habits right now is a critical professional skill.
And look, this isn't just some fluffy, nice-to-have advice. Think of this as a professional checklist. Making sleep a priority, actually scheduling time to switch off, and making it normal to ask for help, these are just as fundamental to your training as learning anatomy.
Now, let's talk about something really serious, a critical question you have to be ready for. As of now, you're a part of the healthcare system, and with that comes a profound duty to protect patients. So, what do you do if you see something that could put them in danger?
You don't hesitate. You follow the Speak Up protocol. Your duty is to act. That means you speak to a senior colleague immediately. If you can do something to make the situation safer right then and there, you do it. Afterwards, you write down exactly what happened objectively, and you follow the official reporting process. Protecting patients is your non-negotiable duty, even as a student.
Okay, that sounds like a lot, right? Incredibly intense. And you know what? It is. But maybe the most important thing you'll hear in your first week is this: you are absolutely not alone on this journey.
There's an entire network, a whole safety net built specifically to support you. We're talking university well-being and mental health services, academic support teams, your own peers, professional groups. Help is everywhere. And you aren't just allowed to use these resources, you're expected and encouraged to.
So you've made it through week 1. You've been introduced to a whole new way of learning, you've tackled your first case, and you've started to understand your professional duties. Your training has only just begun. The real question is, what happens next? Well, that's the journey you've just stepped onto.